Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the Notes of Gracious YouTube channel. I hope everybody has had a really good week. So, today I want to speak about the lessons I have learned while pregnant. And the reason why I keep talking about this journey is because it's almost coming to an end for me. I am in my last few weeks, so I probably won't be able to talk about it as much in coming videos as I can now. But yeah, I want to talk about this because I am carrying life. That blows my mind. My body has the ability to carry a whole human being and deliver it and raise it. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. So I'm carrying a life. How absolutely sad would it be for me to have this gift and this ability and not be able to share what that has taught me? I don't know if there is anything greater or bigger or more life-changing that is ever going to happen to me other than this, really. And some of you who know part of our story, part of our journey, is that it's just me and Baba. It's just the two of us. We're going to be doing life together. So how sad would it be for me to go through something so amazing and not be able to share what that journey has taught me? And oh my God, the pregnancy journey is a long. It's most of my year is gone. We're in November now. Only a few days away from December. All right, so let's get right into it. So my pregnancy journey has really taught me to be brave. Those who know me know that I've always kind of been opinionated. I've always had something to say. I've always been kind of bubbly and really full of energy. And I've always kind of, had a little bit of a temper and all that. But carrying my daughter has really taught me to be brave. Like, it has taught me to not be afraid of life. I feel like if I can do this, there really aren't many things that I won't be able to do, because this is such a big deal. It's such a challenging situation. It's so vulnerable. It's so fragile. Anything can go wrong at any moment, any time of the day without you expecting it. Like, you don't know what can happen to you, to your baby, while you are pregnant, while you're carrying this life. You don't know. And she's kicking. That is cute. So yes, being brave and not being afraid of life. And I've devoted myself to succeeding with my daughter no matter what life throws at us. So it's really taught me to just be a brave person, to do it afraid. Like, I was completely terrified of raising my daughter on my own, but I really tapped into do it afraid. Even if it scares you and this is something that you want, then go right ahead and do it. Another thing I've learned in this journey is do not expect too much from people. People saying I love you just while you're pregnant is not enough. It's really not enough, because so much of this journey requires a lot of action. And so for me, all the elders and the pastors and whoever I grew up with and they were telling me they love me, honestly, most of them are nowhere to be seen. Most of them are nowhere to be found. In my life, while I'm going through this journey, I don't know where they are. They've not looked for me, haven't bought anything for Baba, have not asked how I'm doing. I don't know how they are. So do not expect too much from people. And remembering that just because somebody says they love you, sometimes it's just not enough. But really not expecting too much from people, and only knowing that people can give you only what they have has really been a lesson that I've learned. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just I've learned it. Another thing is it teaches you to own your choices. So I've said in previous videos that I never expected to be a single mom. I never expected to be pregnant and single. I've just always had a picture of it's gonna be me and my husband, and then we bring our kids into the world. That's all I've ever known. That's all I've ever been taught. That is what I know to be the right thing to do. That is what I know to be the right way to go. That's just what I know. That's just what I grew up in, and that's what I grew up on. That's what I grew up being taught. I was never taught anything else. There was just no other way to do family other than dad, mom, and then the kids. So, but owning my choices, now that I'm not married and I am still having my daughter, I had to own that choice. I had to own that decision. I had to own the choice to keep my daughter. I had to own the choice to raise her up by myself, no matter what happens, whether I had family support or not, whether I had baby daddy support or not, whether I had support from work or not. I had to own my choices. I had to own this choice. So this journey has really taught me that you have got to own your choices, girl. You have got to own your story. You have got to take responsibility. You have got to acknowledge, look, this has happened. I need to do something. This is a choice. I have to do something about it. This is my responsibility. So it's really taught me to own my choices, which has been a really good lesson. I mean, I've always known that, you know, you're an adult, you're grown, you have to own your choices anyway. But saying it and living it the way I am now, living and breathing my choice every day, feeling my choice kick me around right now is life-changing. So owning my choices. And it's really taught me how to be happy on my own. I've always been the type of person anyway who's really like belonged to herself. I've always really been self-aware and really acknowledged my trauma, and I've really acknowledged my toxic traits, whether I've always, you know, been like good at admitting it or not. But I've always really kind of been self-aware from a young age. But and I've always thrived being like alone in my own environment. When I was younger, I hated flooding. I hated living with other people. I really didn't even enjoy living with family that much because I loved my own space. So it's really taught me how to be happy on my own without necessarily needing so many people surrounding me, without necessarily needing to have noise or validation from other people, having relationships or friendships. It's really taught me how to own my happiness, how to be happy just by myself and feeling content in that. And trust me, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have. That's another lesson I've learned. It's probably on my top 2 lessons that I've learned. You don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have. So whether you've lost your job, or you've lost a parent, or you've lost a child, or you're expecting a child and expecting to raise that child on your own, you don't know how strong you are until the only option you have is tapping into that strength. And I've had to do that. I had no idea I was capable of being pregnant and living alone, just me and my baby, and going grocery shopping and by doing it by myself when I'm like feeling heavy and bloated and nauseous and all these things. I had no idea that I was able to wake up in the mornings and take myself to doctor's appointments despite my body just telling me, look, today all you need to do is sleep and stay asleep. Like, I had no idea that I had the strength to just do all these things because that was the only choice I had. And I'm so glad I learned that lesson because I'm able to carry that forward. I'm able to reflect back. Ooh, Baba. She's doing the most. I'm able to reflect back. And this is one of my favorites, trusting my body. Growing up, I just always thought like I was the skinny girl. I was too skinny, and I had like beautiful friends that had these gorgeous bodies that looked older than they were, and I just always felt skinny. Like, I was super insecure about my body growing up because I just did not gain weight easily. Like, I could eat and eat and eat, but I would just never gain weight. Like, my body loses weight faster than it gains it, no matter how much I eat. Like, I am 9 months pregnant at this point, and I think I'm fairly okay. I'm not actually weighing that much at all. So my body has kind of always been that way. So trusting my body, trusting that my body can carry a human being, trusting that my body knows how to birth my baby, trusting that this body knows how to feed my baby has been so huge for me. And I think for anybody who is going through a pregnancy journey, one of the things you have to do up here is to trust your body, to know that your body was designed to birth. Like, this is one of the things that your body was designed to do if you're already carrying your baby, right? Of course, I don't believe that not being able to carry a baby makes you less of a mother or less of a woman. I don't believe that at all. But if you are already in the journey like I am, I had to learn to trust my body, and that has been so huge for me. That has been such a blessing for me to know and to learn that my body can do this thing. And then lastly, for me, has been learning to ask for help. When you're pregnant, you don't have a choice but to ask for help, because at this point where I'm at now, this far along, there are certain physical things I cannot do. I was talking to my sister a couple of days ago, and I'd gone grocery shopping because all I do is eat now. And I bought like a pack of 24 bottles of water, but I live upstairs. I just cannot carry that up the stairs anymore. It's just not something that my body is able to do anymore. So I needed help. So little things like that, it's really taught me how to ask for help and to not be shy asking for help, and to not feel bad asking for help because I need it. And I'm truly hoping that once my baby is here and once we're doing life together, it is something that I can continue to do, to know that it is okay to ask for help, and to know that it is okay for people to ask me for help. So if you knew me 9 months ago, I am telling you, I'm a completely different person. You don't know me no more. I'm a completely different person. I have grown so much. I have matured in so many ways. I am just learning so much in this process, and I'm really hoping these are lessons that I'm not only learning for a season, but these are lessons that I can really take into my future. These are lessons that I can teach my daughter. These are lessons that I can teach my future kids that I definitely plan on having. These are lessons that I can take into relationships that can help me to be a better partner. These are lessons that I can take into professional settings at work. I am so grateful that I was able to learn these lessons, and I was able to see within myself that I have learned these things, right? So let me know what life lessons you have learned in your life, even without being pregnant. Like, let's say you just got married. That's a big life thing, right? Or you just got a new job, or you are going through some health issues, or whatever it may be. Like, what are things in your life that have changed you, that have taught you lifelong lessons? What are things in your life that you're currently going through that you've overcome before that have taught you life lessons? I feel like that is so important, that is so big, and that is so huge as we contribute to the world, as we bring more human beings into the world. I believe we just have to grow up. We just have to learn. We just have to take responsibility. So these are some of the lessons that I've learned during my pregnancy. Have I learned like any terrible lessons or anything? I don't know. I really haven't had time to. No, I don't know. I would have to think about that one. I wrote down the lessons that I know for sure that I've learned. I wrote down the lessons that I know for sure have changed me as a woman, as a mom to be. I know for sure. So that's what I wrote down. But you know what? Should I think of any like terrible lessons that I've learned, I will share those with you. I will record a video about that, and I will openly speak about it. But I just really wanted to share the things that I know, that I was able to write down, that I was able to explain. So once again, thank you so much for joining me and Baba in our video, and tune in next week for another one. Bye fam.